start. So the animal's name and number. So as you can see, I'm going to write my information in this gray area, and I want to use a ballpoint pen and press nice and hard, okay? Because what I'm doing, I'm displacing this so that it actually shows up on the x-ray. So I'm going to have Tiger is my animal's name, and his number is 101. I need today's date, so January 30th, and then the year. And then my next information would be the log number. So it would be 25-014, and then my initials, because I'm the one taking the radiograph. So ideally there's 5 things that we legally need on the label. So the hospital's one, the animal name and number, your date, the log number, and my initials. And then I just peel this off like that, put it right in the center, and then I have my appropriate label for my x-ray. So then I would put this within the collimation, okay, because if it's outside of the illumination, it's not going to show up on your x-ray, okay. This little square here in the center will be indicating the beam center, okay. So when you take a radiograph, you would have a beam center and then limits that you need to have in each picture. Also, we need a recumbency marker. So if I was doing the left paw or the left side of the thorax, I would have that next to my label. Other things that you will see is positioning aids. Okay, so this is a V trough that we can use to help position our patients nice and comfortably. Sometimes you'll use some sandbags to support the limbs. And then we have other types of positioning aids. Now these are radiolucent, so that means they're not going to show up on your x-ray. Whereas your sandbag is radiopeg and it'll interfere with what you're taking, so you want to make sure it's not around your body part too closely. Okay, so then I would set up my x-ray, and then I would go out to the control panel, put in the appropriate KBP, the MA, and time for me to take an exposure. One other thing in here is we have this nice cabinet over here that actually holds our cassettes that are ready to use, okay? So these have already been loaded with a fresh film, so when you're ready to take an image, you just pull this out, you don't have to worry. The rule of thumb is as soon as you remove the film for processing, you would replace it so that you're ready to go for your next x-ray. Once we get the exposure, once it's been exposed to radiation, it's 8 times more sensitive to natural light, so then we would put it into the exposed section, and then you'll see when we go into the dark room, I can grab my cassette from the other side of the room.